as the sun, I feel what you don't say. Scorpio moon, I see through the gray. I'm tuned to your soul, I read the unseen. Eighth house mind.
Hello, welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Today we are diving into one of the most astrological important events or shifts in 2026, and that is the North Node entering Aquarius and the South Node entering Leo. I'm going to explain what this means for leadership. I'm going to explain how it's going to affect technology, social media, community, creativity, and the future of our society. Today I'm going to be breaking down collective predictions for mundane world astrology and also personal predictions. I'm going to talk about the Aquarius-Leo themes, the axis, and the eclipse coming up. I'll also have horoscopes. So if you're into all that, then you are in the right place. Before I even get started, first I want to know if you are new, I want to say hello if you're new here. And I highly recommend, I just did a video. Check out the last video. I just uploaded it and it's on the North and South Node. And it is the basics of the North and South Node and basic astrology 101. It is great even if you don't want to become an astrologer. If you want to know about yourself and how to read your personal chart, it helps a lot with that. So go ahead and check out that video. I also have a 2026 astrology playlist. So go ahead and check out that. It's something I did at the end or middle of last year, and I put that together, and the predictions are so real and scary, so it's good to reflect and look at that. And they're ongoing too, because it's not just 2026 predictions on air. And then lastly, if you are watching this, just if you are old and new, both, hello again, first of all. And also, please don't forget to give me my flowers. I am still alive. Okay. And how do you do that? It is actually free. If you enjoy watching anything dealing with astrology and you love getting predictions and you love getting it for free, please don't forget to subscribe. Do your due diligence as a listener, as a viewer. Don't forget to like, download, share this episode. Even if you write a comment or just put an emoji, that helps me out so much. I genuinely enjoy creating this content for you, and I love doing it for free. And the best way that you can support my channel and my work is by sharing this content, engaging in this content. I think we all know that already, but we need constant reminders, because me as a YouTube watcher and as a podcast listener, I just listen and I don't really rate or do anything, but I have to remind myself, oh my gosh, Danyell, that was amazing content. Share it. Share it with others. Also, if you're looking for something that's deeper, okay, I have a private community, and we'll even talk about communities and how that's important. And I go deep, deep, deep in that community. I have a lot of content in that community already. I have daily readings. I have weekly readings, and those are tarot readings. I also go deep on astrological topics, conspiracy theories, current events, politics, a lot of personal readings too. I even will do extra predictions on there too. So go ahead and check that out. Mercury is currently about to retrograde in Cancer, and I have a Mercury survival kit and a lot of other things on there. So go ahead and check that out if you want. That will help me out as well. Now let's get started on this video. On July 26, 2026, July 26, 2026, the North Node is going to turn into Aquarius, and the South Node will be turning into Leo. North Node currently right now is in the sign of Pisces, okay? Let me pull this up for you guys so you can see it. And what does that mean when the North Node is currently in Pisces? That's actually the eclipse. I'll remove this and put current transits. So currently, oh, look, everything's shifted on here on this side. That's very interesting. But okay, are these all the things being shown here? Yeah, not the North, and that's the most important things here. Okay, so currently right now we have the North Node and the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces. And if you didn't know, there's common themes that happen because we have eclipse placed in those themes. And if you didn't notice, the North Node in Pisces gives us things. Something new has started. So homelessness has been bigger than ever. If you didn't notice, new forms of drugs and medications as well has been big. You're talking about Ozempic. And mental health even has been a big change. A lot of SSRIs. What are those beta blockers? All of that, that is that Pisces energy. Pisces also is in charge of spirituality and religion. So anything new with that, that is that Pisces energy. If you became more spiritual, that is that Pisces energy. Epstein, occult, sexuality, things that are very secretive is very Pisces energy as well. Conspiracy theories and investigations of death. You have people obsessed with the murder of Charlie Kirk. Information coming up about JFK. We also have Palestine and Israel, and they're both very religious countries, and that is very Pisces energy as well. So you see the themes there in Pisces. And with that South Node in Virgo, we had a lot of layoffs. If you didn't notice, that's when Doge, that was very Virgo energy with Elon Musk. He started doing auditing and cleaning out, because Virgo is like to clean and diminish and clear out. Firing, laying off. It's also in charge of employees and working. Virgo energy likes to be very productive, and productivity has went down. A lot of people working from home or being at home, not working at all. The healthcare system, there is a big shift in that. Being perfect on the internet, if you notice, that has changed. That has been reduced. A lot of people are being very natural. You see people filming in their cars and they have no makeup on. The editing has even reduced. Even though on TikTok I feel like it has produced, but you see it being more real, more authentic. Burnout culture has changed as well. And the rise of alternative healing, if you notice, that has changed as well too. Information overload. Virgo wants the facts. Pisces goes off of faith. That was a big theme as well. So now the lunar nodes are changing into Leo and Aquarius. This is going to happen all the way until March 26th of 2028. And then they will go back into the themes of Virgo and Pisces. So we're not quite finished there. They retrograde back. If you want to see here, these planets will, this will come back into here. Actually, let me do it by month. So then you can see, here they are. Where are they? Here they are in Aquarius and Leo. And when you move all the way to 2028, you see, first of all, in 2027, they're still here. And then in 2028, they go back because they retrograde so much. Let me actually put it here. And where are they? Always have to look. You see it's at 0 degrees. So they eventually go back into the signs there. Wait, no, not back into the signs. They go into, I'm sorry. You know what I'm thinking of, Chiron. They go not back into the signs. First of all, the North and South Node move backwards anyway. But then they will go back and change into another thing, which is Cancer and Capricorn. Get ready for that. That is homeland and government. But anyway. What we have in those few years from 2028, from 2026 to 2028, we have the eclipse coming up, which is going to be in August. I'm going to talk about that. And a total solar eclipse in the South Node in Leo, August 12th. We have a partial lunar eclipse in the North Node in Pisces, August 28th. In 2026 too. Okay. So, but I'm going to really focus on the Leo eclipse because I've already talked about the themes, and I'll get, when we get to the partial lunar eclipse, I'll do a separate video on that. So don't worry. Now I want to talk the first, okay, let me make sure I have all my notes here. I want to talk about the North Node. Again, I have a separate video explaining what the North and South Node means, but we are talking about it being in Aquarius and Leo. Okay. And North Node in Aquarius. The North Node represents things that are going to be new, things that you're obtaining. Western astrology thinks it's positive. Eastern astrology thinks it's negative. But it's more about productivity and gaining, could be somewhat greed or materialism as well. But the North Node is the future. The south node is the past or something that you're comfortable with. So in the north node in Aquarius, you are talking about themes of community, innovation, technology, collaboration, humanitarianism, a lot of rebelling, a lot of boycotts, okay, networks across the board. You're talking about any type of organization and club. I think of sororities, fraternities, book clubs, any type of network, okay? And it also represents the future. Now, if we're talking about personal things, because eclipse also really affect a lot of people when they hit your personal planet, especially when that north and south node hits your personal planet, and it will. Okay. You're talking about the mind and perspective. If you have Aquarius placements, you're talking about the mind and perspective. Aquarius is really strong in intellect and independent thought, futuristic mindset, innovative ideas, detached observation, as well. Relationships. Friendships are more important than actual lovers. Okay. It really likes to be in a big group rather than an intimate group. Aquarius energy does not like to be really intimate, but then it likes its solitude. Very interesting, Aquarius energy. Identity and authenticity. Also, too, Aquarius energy is not emotional. It likes to be very detached because it's really on logic and intellect, not based on emotions. And with your identity, it's very authentic. Both Leo and Aquarius both deal with this identity, but when Aquarius is more about not following a follower, being an individual, standing out, a little bit weird, a little bit quirky. Okay. Could be dealing more of the spectrum kind of energy because it's dealing with more intellect energy as well. Desire to help others, wanting to make an impact on the world on a larger scale, thinking about the future in society, science, space as well. Astrology is huge with Aquarius energy, being a part of something bigger than yourself, creating a change through ideas or systems or networks. Okay. Now, also Aquarius likes to have space. It doesn't like to be put in a box. Okay. It's very fixed energy. It could be emotionally detached, feeling misunderstood, a lot of isolation with Aquarius energy, a lot of weirdness. Okay. Now, as far as mundane astrology, these are the themes that we're going to get, especially when we have the eclipse, and it may not personally be affecting us, but it'll be affecting the collective, which domino effect will be affecting you individually. You are dealing with airplanes, anything dealing with air because it is an air sign. It's also in charge of navigation. When Pluto first entered Aquarius here, and here's Pluto in Aquarius. You guys probably know that's when we had airplane accidents. Navigation wasn't working in the sky. We've been having a lot of airport problems. That will probably be bigger. And understanding what's going on. And the investigation of what's the airline that was doing shady stuff, but like the door opening and fights on airplanes. That's Pluto. Pluto intensifies Aquarius energy. So when the North Node hits Pluto, that would affect us in a big way too. Actually, let me see when that actually happens. So we can see North Node conjunct Pluto. Let's see when that happens. Do I have that here? It says it happens 2027 of November. And here it happens, at 4 degrees, that's representing homeland. There's something here that will change and start new. Once it gets closer, once it gets closer there, so not November, some months before, we're definitely going to see a change there as well. So just be aware of that. So in 2027, let's see what happens in the sky, okay? Also, other things that represent, Pluto represents things that transform and intensity. So all these themes that I'm about to name in Aquarius, it will be more intense. So we have Congress, we have House of Representatives, the Senate, all that is represent with Aquarius energy. Russia is going to be bigger themes with Aquarius energy. Socialism. I have some personal opinions about that. I'll keep that behind the paywall, okay? X-rays, television, telephones. That's also the iPhones, any type of technology, any form of communication. Aquarius is a higher octave of Gemini, and Gemini loves to communicate. Mercury loves to communicate. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, so that means Uranus and Saturn will be the ruler of the North Node. So whatever they're doing, and if they have bad problems in the North Node, we'll have bad problems. But more what I really want to focus on is that Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. Basically, it's stronger with communication. So social media across the board, any form of communication, emails, that would change and develop, but it will be a change. Okay. So communication, social media, colleagues, the intellect, the smart person, the robot, ChatGPT, what is it? Claude, those forms of AI coming together. Maybe we will be using them more or appreciating the technology more. Let's see how that goes. Aquarius energy also represents friendship, organizations, research, hopes and dreams, the collective, society, the public, the masses, social media, a lot of protesting, a lot of uprising, community organizing, group identity, innovation. Again, the internet, future focus and inventions. Also, it represents sudden change and disruption. It's very unexpected. It's very out of the box. It's very unique. There's a disruption of anything old, even though it's a fixed energy. And fixed means that it's stubborn and it's stuck. It doesn't like to change. But that's more the intellectual side. Other than that, it wants change. So it's very Aquarius is very hypocritical. Just so you know, systems and structure, all that is non-traditional. So like a new government, okay, crypto, the way you do anything, it wants to break the traditions. It wants to take anything outdated and make it new. Okay, so just so you know, Saturn is a ruler, one of the rulers of Aquarius, and it likes structure. Okay, it's very disciplined. And Uranus is the other ruler of Aquarius, and it likes disruption. So, changing the structure and being very cold. Both of these planets are very cold, meaning there is no emotions involved in it. Okay. Other random things is electricity, science, experiments, space, aviation, astrology, outsiders, rebels, humanitarian efforts, anything going viral. We'll see a lot of that and maybe embracing that. Let me see. Anything else I have here that I didn't say? Yeah, so that's pretty much Aquarius. And the North Node means we're gaining it, we're improving in it. Something new is going to happen. Let's see how this plays out, especially when this eclipse happens. We're going to be feeling the eclipse a little bit earlier. I have to actually break down the time. I didn't look up the time of the eclipse because then that kind of determines the months. But just know that when an eclipse happens, it does not happen on that date. Sometimes it does. But most of the time you feel it before. So I am filming this live, unedited, June 18th. Not live, this is pre-recorded, but it's June 18th. It should be up June 18th. But my reason I'm saying this is that we're in June. The eclipse happens in August. So let's see the things that happens with that. Other things that happens that we will be releasing is Leo energy, and that is the South Node, and it will be in Leo. So it's releasing the ego, the pride, excessive individuality, okay? Being on stage, celebrity worship. We're already there. That's because of LA. I looked at the chart of LA, of Los Angeles and USA, and the celebrity culture is being reduced, but needing validation, main character syndrome, attention seeking, leadership, a lot of releasing and undoing of the ego, fear of judgment, need of fame, validation, people pleasing for a performance, pride, selfish relationships. Also, too, it's a romance. Let's see how that plays out. I find that Aquarius energy is more about out of the box, you know, like when they say polygamy, that kind of thing. We'll see how that plays out. The rainbow is very Aquarius energy, and Leo is all about romance, so that might change. But Leo is also very arrogant. It's also represents Chicago, Illinois. So let's see what happens there. Jewelry, gold, crown, diamond, birth control, fertility, fatherhood, heart, strokes, influencers. Leo also represents children. And I always like to bring up Pizzagate, okay? Clubs and parties. Leo also represents Palestine. Stoves, prime minister, spine, the spinal cord, speculation, the throne, any royalty, and athletes and stadiums. So I don't know exactly when the Olympics happen, but let's see what happens with that. There may be and not wanting it as well, or releasing that, or learning something from there, from the Olympics. I don't know the date when the Olympic happens, but if the South Node is there, there will be a lot of not really being entertained with it as much either, too. Yeah, so that is what we have. Any false kings, heroes, leaders, presidents also, too. Again, in my video from last year, there could be a death of a president. I will be doing a video on Trump in this eclipse because it does hit his chart, and JD Vance as well. But let's talk about the theme of the axis of Leo energy and Aquarius together, because both of those are going to play a big part, and you'll see in your horoscopes when I do it towards the end of this video. But self and collective is what you get. Those are going to be the themes, and it's really one theme, right? The heart versus the mind. The heart is Leo, and there is going to be less of that, of when you're sleeping your heart, and more about what is the intellect, what is the intelligent thing. Expressive versus innovation. Leadership versus revolution. Joy versus purpose. Influence, that's going to be reduced. Leadership, that's going to be reduced. It's like more of an indirect leader. More about the movements and the people, and being authentic. This is who I am versus this is what I believe kind of energy. So let's see how this plays out as far as all the themes that I just named. I think it's going to be more about the outsiders more than anything. Aquarius isn't taboo. That's more Scorpio energy and a little bit of Pisces, but it's very odd. So very odd things will be more embraced and really, really focus on the intellect and the nerd. So let's see how that plays out. Now let's talk about the eclipse that will happen. Let me see. Actually, let me tell you the dates of the eclipse here. So August 12th, 2026 is when we have the eclipse in Leo. Actually, let me pull up this chart so you guys can see that. And then another eclipse we have August 28th. I already said that. That's in Pisces. February 6th. I have a lot of people I personally know whose birthday is February 6th, but that is going to be another eclipse, a solar annual eclipse in Aquarius. And then we go back to Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. So just so you know. Now, let me get into the eclipse. Where is that? My predictions of this eclipse. Oh, also, too, I wanted to say, did I read this? Okay. This is some other stuff I have. My phone keeps ringing. I hope you guys can hear that. The polarity, I just want you to understand that this axis is very masculine. It is dealing with air and fire. They are both fixed signs, meaning things don't like to change. So this is going to be a big doozy. We just left the energy of more of a moodable change and things changing and adapting, being flexible. So it's like how you had Doge, but then it didn't work. So it's like a back and forth kind of energy. This one is more fixed. So there is this energy of not wanting to change. Okay. Now you are talking about fire and air, and it's very fast. It's very quick. A lot of fast responses. Think how a fire just spreads quickly. Think how the wind just moves fast. Air is also dealing with logic. It's very strong with intellectual energy. Thinking of some subjects and avoiding all emotions at all costs. Looking at things differently. It's more about a purpose. No, that's not what no, ignore that. That was more, I feel like more Leo. But you will search for at least one group or joining a club for sure. It's all about having a community, which I was talking about earlier. And I find that if you are doing something on the internet, which is very Aquarius theme, it would get bigger. If you have a club, a community, that would get bigger. This is a great time to build that club, just so you know. Great time for that. Leo is also very self-centered, especially if it's a club that's about the group and not about you being a star. Leo is very self-centered, while Aquarius is all about the greater good for the larger people. Leo is also about self-development, creativity, and learning to love and respect others. You guys, also, too, I really want to make my private community public, but then I need it to be private because of the themes and the things that are said. So I'm trying to work on Substack to make it secretive, but you don't have to pay for it. I'm really working on that. So if you know how I can do that, that would be great. But there's a lot of lessons and YouTubes I have to do because I have to transfer all the information that I have in my private community onto there. So That's currently what I'm working on. Anyway, because I do want it to be free, and I would rather just work on tips than anything. I don't want someone to pay a membership because I don't want to pay a membership. But that's anyway. But Aquarius is quite different as it refers to love and humanity and perhaps even the planet itself. Aquarius wants to find the benefit of mankind. Both of the nodes, Leo and Aquarius, are quite proud, could be quite arrogant because it's very fixed. But Aquarius energy is very intellectual, arrogance. Relationships with this combination could be easy if it's a friendship. However, there will be sudden decisions that are going to occur. It's going to be very sudden. There's going to be new ideas emerging. There's going to be relationships changing very quickly. Friendships, that's going to shift. Communication, it will evolve. It will grow. It will change. Get ready for that. Leadership, reducing that, and that's changing as well. You have a streak of originality. Let me see. You can invent things. This is really great with this energy too. Inventing, having some new ways of doing things, being original. Aquarius also loves technology. It loves the gadget. You don't want to be dependent. You want to be more intellectual. So like grab the book, learn how to use it, learn, embrace the, and as I can't communicate, grab a book, read the book, embrace what you are learning and share it. That is very Aquarius energy. Teaching and training also is what you get with Aquarius energy. Hold on, let me see. Someone just entered. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Also, too, I want you to know being open to new ideas and weirdness. I probably keep repeating that just so you know that. Okay. Leo is also a very fire sign. It's a sex drive kind of energy. Very drama queen. A lot of conflict that needs to be reduced. Conflict on the internet probably will be reduced as well. Anything that's very childlike, that might be off-putting. So let's see how that plays out. Having a partner that wants to be your mother, very Leo energy. Falling in love easily with yourself, very Leo energy, that would be reduced. Again, science will be big. Originality will be big. So yes, karma, some things that will be coming, because when you're dealing with the north and south node, you are dealing with the karma. The moon also is very attached to traditional things. I talked about that in my last video, but we'll talk about the some karma problems you have. May not wish to grow up and accept responsibility. Your karma is going to come back for you. Can't be arrogant or snobbish, acting in a childish way, want to take center stage when it's not appropriate. Wanting children, that's going to be big. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe more successful in groups than in your family life or with your romantic life. Intellectual superiority, that could be happening. Excessive pride, wanting attention at inappropriate times, acting impulsively, prioritizing friends over family, needing constant validation. Also, you guys, I did not organize my notes. Be aware of over analyzing your motivation. Conflict and clashes may resolve. Nothing happens slow. I've already said all that. So let's talk about this eclipse here. And I want you to see all of the things that are happening in this eclipse, okay? So in this eclipse, first of all, we have the eclipse here. It's a solar total eclipse, meaning it's somewhat of a new moon. I mean, not somewhat, it's a new moon. It is at 20 degrees. Actually, I'm going to pull my notes up. I don't want to repeat anything that I'm saying. It's at 20 degrees, and it's also dealing with the south node, meaning that this eclipse is about letting go of something. Again, this could be a death of a president, is at 29 degrees. That's an urgency. A death of a leader, a death of everything that I mentioned before, that king, the gold, the pride, all that. There is something that's going to be reduced there. A celebrity culture. Anything dealing with the ego, individual power, being the center of attention, that stage thing. That's going to be released. We're going to be seeing that with this eclipse. Also, too, we have Jupiter conjunct Mercury. That is in the sign Leo. That's pretty big there. Mars is in the sign Cancer at 0 degrees. That's huge with this eclipse. Chiron is at 0 degrees in Taurus. That's pretty big as well. What we do have is an opposition from this conjunction, Jupiter and Mercury. It's opposing Pluto. And remember, this south node is, the north node is in Aquarius. Pluto is in Aquarius, but it's in opposition with Mercury and Jupiter. And Mercury and Jupiter, the ruler of the Mercury and Jupiter is the sun, and it's in an eclipse as well. I will be explaining all this, but I just want you to understand what's happening. And then you have Uranus, and it has this beautiful energy here, though. It's trine Pluto. It's also sextile Leo. So Jupiter conjunct Mercury in Leo. I find that there's going to be something big on the news. There's going to be huge headlines, announcements, information, speeches, media, social conversations. It could be a leader giving a speech, celebrities making headlines, public figures dominating a lot of attention. Jupiter represents the world. It expands everything it touches, and it's sitting next to Mercury. So Mercury is the news. It's the headlines. It's all information, communication, huge, loud, and big. A lot of conflict with that, though. So let's see how that plays out. This opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. Mercury and Jupiter in Leo is like, listen to me. Pluto in Aquarius is questioning your authority. Okay, this is power struggles, maybe propaganda on the news, information wars, exposed secrets. Maybe there is a huge announcement about private speech, and there's going to be something that's going to be reducing that leader, that head there happening as well. Exposed secrets, leadership changes or challenges, battles over public opinion. The doors are unlocked. Hold on one second as we speak about technology. Over here doing... Okay. Sorry about that. Pluto is exposing what is hidden. So there's something here. Now, there is a bowl aspect here because now this energy is here, Neptune. We'll talk about that. But the bowl is, there's a huge emphasis on one side of the chart, taking away another side of the chart. It all depends on your rising sign to each personal, but there is a huge focus on a collective focus on a strong mission, something that is very half done. And it's a focus on either the external versus the internal or the public versus the home. Okay, that kind of energy. Let me see. Mercury and Jupiter are sextile Uranus. Uranus is trine Pluto, and Mercury and Jupiter are trine Neptune. Okay, while this eclipse is happening. So there is a lot of brilliant ideas, a lot of technical breakthroughs, a lot of new inventions, a lot of scientific development. There is love and compassion, but it's new. Maybe this also could be dealing, again, the death of a leader. It is retrograding, redoing, disappearing of a leader. But there's a huge announcement, and the announcement works out great. Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo are all involved. This is highly intellectual, futuristic energy. Aries means representing something new. It also represents a leader. Mercury trine Neptune is spiritual insight, imagination, creativity, vision. At its highest, people become more inspired. People become persuaded by fantasy. This also could be conspiracy theory, too, of a death of a leader, and it could be a conspiracy theory. Just want to throw that out there, just so you know. Let me see what else I have. These are all tied to leadership, communication, technology, society, power, the idea of something. Now, this eclipse is also at 20 degrees. That is a Sagittarius degree. That represents the wide world web. That represents travel. That represents the world. It represents international events. Again, religion, philosophy, higher learning, publishing, truth-seeking, being honest. So let's see how that plays out. Very fiery, very passionate, very masculine. Masculine energy, meaning it will be out there. We will see it. Mars is at 0 degrees in Cancer. So while this eclipse is happening and is dealing with leadership, or is dealing with gold, or is dealing with children, or is dealing with celebrities, all those things could be happening during this eclipse. But there's a releasing of that, and it's very dramatic. It's a lot of conflict, but we are going to hear it. No doubt, this is something that's going to be said, okay, in a very aggressive way, or a very everyone look at me way. Now, while that's happening, it's working really well with Uranus and being different and unique. It's also working really well with this energy of deception and secrets, and also compassion and love, one or the other, even a new drug. Just have to throw that out there. While that's happening, very interesting, we have Mars in 0 degrees at Cancer. That's very strong. Chiron at 0 degrees is strong too, is retrograding, but this is strong just strong. Okay, very strong energy here. Mars, this is family, this is homeland, this is security, this is emotional needs, this is protection. This suggests collective emotions are running high. People are becoming more protective about their safety and their security. So whatever this announcement, it's making people fight about their homeland. Very aggressive energy. Last time we had Mars in Cancer, it was retrograding, and I think that's when the fires were happening too. Now this energy is not getting along with with Venus. Okay, men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of energy. But conflict between what conflict from what one wants versus what one needs. Relationship tensions. This could be dealing with finances. Again, gender. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Values. There's some conflict here. Huge relationship issues. This is dealing with something that is cardinal, meaning something that is new and starting. So we're releasing, but there's aggression towards something that starts, and your harmony is not working. At the same time, this is opposing Neptune. Okay, and the day of this eclipse, not the day, but this energy of this eclipse, that opposition with Venus, your harmony, your balance and fairness in relationships, is opposing Neptune retrograding in Aries. This is a fantasy of a relationship. It's not realistic. It can't see eye to eye. If we are talking about world astrology, then this could be a public affair, an ally, and there's deception here. It's being secretive, idealization, disappointment, spiritual love, artistic inspiration, lacking, not causing harmony, not being fair. Okay, Chiron is at 0 degrees in the sign Taurus. This is a lot of resources and security, and there's a wound here. There's issue with money and resources and self-worth, or maybe even the physical body, or even the throat. Just wanted to add that tidbit in here. The South Node in Leo is asking what is happening in the spotlight. Mercury opposing Pluto suggests major revelations around power. This is major power issues here. Mars in Cancer makes things very emotional when you are trying to pursue things or fighting, or you're fighting over your homeland. Neptune suggests that there is some visions that are not clear and deception involved here. And Chiron, it says there needs to be some healing with some resources. Okay, so that's what we have for the eclipse. As we get closer, I'll talk about it, revisit it. Let's see what the predictions are with that, but that is what we have. I want to talk about the horoscopes now. Let me pull up the chart. Actually, we'll remove the chart because I don't want to confuse anyone, but I just want you to know if you are, we're going to talk about well, let me pull some cards first about this eclipse here. And let's see what we have. You know what? First, I'll pull cards on the North and South Node in Aquarius and see what we have for that, and then the eclipse. Okay, I should have did that in order. There's new opportunities with money and finances. God is giving us opportunities with that. Very intellectual energy, perfecting the details of things and working on the craft, giving us tangible things. There's a lot of heavy load with this North Node in Leo, and in the South Node in Leo and North Node in Aquarius. There's a heavy load on working on the details and opportunities of resources. Now, what do we have far as this eclipse? And what is this? The eclipse that I cannot even think of. The solar eclipse that I was just talking about. Solar total eclipse in Leo. That's what I was throwing off in Leo. We have the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands means that you are learning something. There is something that you are gaining information. It's almost like you're researching. You see the world is at his fingertips here. He's holding the world. So you're gaining new information about the world. Let's see how that plays out. There's abundance though. They're sitting here, but this is also a boastfulness. Very Leo energy. You're boasting about something and you're learning. There is the energy of someone bragging about, look at all the jewels and all the things that I have. Let me pull one more card. And on positive side, that's good luck. On the negative side, it's like you're bragging about something and you're bragging about your abundance and being self-made. So let's see a little bit showboaty we have here. Okay, so let's talk about when you're looking at your horoscopes, I want you to understand that you're looking at your rising sign, and I'm going to do them together because we are talking about an axis, and they both fall. We're talking about the north and south node, okay? So we're doing 2 rising signs at the same time. You could look at your rising sign. You could also look at your sun sign and your moon sign. When you're looking at your sun sign, you're looking at what you are going to attain physically, and more of the ego energy and the light will be shining bright on these themes. Now, if you're looking at your moon sign, you're talking about more internal energy, feminine energy, and it's based on your emotions, okay? And your rising sign is the most accurate, but if you get all 3, you will really get a reading, okay? So now I'm going to do my Aries and Libras together. This is dealing with your 11th and 5th house. This is the individual expression and collective contribution. This is personal recognition versus community, okay? The 5th house is all about creativity, romance, children, fun, fertility, and recognition. Those are going to be big themes here. And the 11th house, community, friendships, networks, social causes, and the future. It's very interesting because if you are a Libra rising, it's like opposite here. And then you may find some balance here. If you are Aries rising, this will definitely be strong energy. The North Node in Aquarius in the 11th house is going to have some growth through communities. And if it's your south side, if it's your south node, if the South Node in Leo is there is going to be reducing the community and being the leader of it as well, okay? But networking, collaboration, and finding your tribe. That 5th house, that is going to be about releasing or gaining excess focus on personal validation, attention, and romance. You could be gaining children. And it could be something that's quite different, like adoption of some sort, or a unique way of having a child, or a unique way of being and expressing yourself with a group. Okay, so let me pull a card for you guys. There is the 6 of Cups. It's all about your memories, something that makes you feel safe, something that you're familiar with. Also, too, a new spark. Not a new spark, but you starting a path of passion, of drive, of creativity, even though you're reducing this, but there's a new spark happening for you. And you're just starting to communicate this. Communicate being a leader, communicate self-expression, communicate creativity as well. But could be children, but also it's something that's very familiar and safe happening for you. All right. Look at me and let's build something together. That's what we have. Next, we have Taurus and Scorpio rising. This is happening in your 10th and 4th house. Private life versus your public life. This is your home versus your career. This is the 4th house is dealing with themes of home, family, roots, childhood, emotional security, mother. There could be some fertility, definitely some womb. Dealing with the womb, the uterus kind of energy. Feeling safe as well. History. 10th house energy is about your career, reputation, success, public image, legacy. Okay, it's really about what do I look like to the public. What was I thinking of? Your public image. It could be calling towards a career growth, public, being public, visibly being public. There could be some type of leadership here and maybe some long-term goals within a group happening for you. Or the opposite, there could be a reducing of the career and a more focus on the home and going to something that's more comfort or family expectations or staying hidden behind something that feels safe or reducing that energy and really focusing on career, okay? So those are the themes for you. Let me pull cards for you. We have the 2 of Swords in reverse. You are not going to be confused. There will be a decision that you have to make and you will know which way to go. Queen of Pentacles, all about the finances. Also about something that's stable and productivity. Not productivity, but something that's tangible. So it could be dealing with your home, getting a home as well, but also maybe focusing on your career. One or the other, but that will be happening this year. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Geminis and Sagittarius. This is your 9th and 3rd house. This is information versus wisdom. This is logical thinking versus local thinking, your community versus the big picture in the world, okay? The 3rd house is dealing with communication, learning, siblings, early education, local community, daily information. huge communication theme here. This is really, really big, especially with that Aquarius theme, right? Ninth house is all about higher education, travel, publishing, beliefs, philosophy. This is something that could be dealing with traveling on a small scale versus a large scale. This could be dealing with writing. You're writing a book and publishing, or not publishing, but writing it for yourself, or vice versa. One or the other is going to gain or going to be losing. Okay. You're going to be expanding your worldview, or maybe reducing it to your community. Traveling could be happening, I said already, but teaching it and learning it. Thinking big, but making it small. Releasing limited beliefs, gossip, petty distractions, or staying focused on what's familiar. Or you could be gaining things with your siblings and learning how to have like a sibling group, or joining a group with your siblings as well. Okay, so we have a new journey for you. We have the Fool's card for you. New opportunities, pack light, do not bring your emotions. We have the Strength card, which is very Leo on stage, but very courageous. A lot of compassion added to you with this placement. So go ahead and have fun with this. Communication is more key to anything, and learning. Let's see how that plays out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Cancer and Capricorn risings. This is happening in your 8th house and your 2nd house. This is really about finances, okay? Personal resources versus shared resources. Is mine versus ours, okay? The 2nd house is really about what you value. It's about money, possessions, self-worth, security, also the throat. I have to throw that in there. But the 8th house is really about shared finances, debt, taxes, loans, investments, also intimacy, therapy, psychology, things that are very taboo, and transformation. So you're either gaining something or losing something from there. When you add the Aquarius aspect, this could be adding intellect to or communicating when it comes to shared resources. If you're adding Leo to it, this could be something that is dealing with you trying to be the leader of our finances, and it's really about the collective, or maybe even charity, or donating it to a greater cause, okay? Or maybe joining a group instead of like one person being in charge of the finances. That could be happening. Let me pull some cards for you. Very positive for you, okay? We have abundance in family and emotions. So this is really going to work out with you. Manifesting whatever you want to put in action for your finances and your resources. This is a great time to manifest it. Use the intellect energy, use the future of AI and technology to embrace it, and use it to increase your finances, or what you value. Write it down, definitely with Aquarius energy. Write it down, talk about it, share and learn about it. With the Magician card, and then a lot of harmony with relationships though. So it's very positive. All right, that's what trust, share, and transform. That's what I have. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leo risings and Aquarius risings. You guys should have been first, because it's really about you. We are dealing with the 1st and 7th house. This is about me versus we, independence versus partnership. Okay, here are the themes. It's I versus the we. It's very simple, okay? It's the body versus the relationship. Identity, independence, self-image, personal goals, the way you approach life. The 7th house is more about marriage. If you have a business partner, any type of person you work with, like a client, or it's not you are the person working with the client. Contracts, cooperation, also anything dealing with legal and fairness, harmony, balance, and creativity, okay? The 1st house is also about the head too. And also maybe like your physical appearance too. So there's something that you're gaining or something that you're losing in that department. When you add the Aquarius themes in it, it's something that's more intellectual. You come across as an intellectual. People want to communicate. People want you to join a group, or maybe you join a group with your partner or your business partner or your lover or something like that. That, not your lover, but your marriage. It could be a group, or there's someone who's a leader and they're dominating your harmony, and that needs to change, okay? So let's see what we have. Cards here. We have a transition here, especially when it comes to words. Someone who is seeking calming waters. You want to be calm, but there is a new healing process happening probably for your harmony. Also, too, we have the Seven of Swords. There's arguments that's being said. You don't like the way you're fighting. So just be aware of that Aquarius energy versus the partnership. It sounds like there's going to be some arguments, but at the end, towards the end, middle and end, after you get over that hump of realizing that you don't like the way that you are communicating, the shift would change into harmony and transition and calming waters. That's really the focus. You really want to have calming waters. All right. Yeah, that is what we have. The future arrives through other people. That could be a possibility, or the focus of the self joining a group or boycotting of some sort. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgos and Pisces. We save the best for last, right? You guys are the last. And this is all about the 6th and 12th house. This is about reality versus spirit, your work versus spirituality. The 6th house is all about employees and work, servitude. Also could be representing slavery, but it deals with pets. Giving sacrifice is a big thing with this, but health, habits, service, and daily responsibilities. A lot of processing here too. Okay, the 12th house is all about spirituality, isolation, dreams, the subconscious, retreat, symbolism. Okay, it can deal with some confusion as well. If you have Aquarius here, this becomes very odd, and you are the intellect that's behind the scenes. If it is Leo energy, then it's more about being on stage, and now there's a consequence and an ending of being on stage. Look at me kind of mentality, okay? Now, far as work, if you're a leader at work, it looks like that might be changing. Or you could be joining a group with some coworkers as well, or maybe like a pet club, okay? And we have the Emperor here. And then we also have the 7 of Wands, standing strong. It's like the leader needs to stay strong, okay? Even though we have this Aquarius group energy, there needs to be this sense of perseverance, not giving up. Being an emperor is somewhat of a father figure. It's also something new that's starting. And so whatever the new energy that's happening for you that is joining this year of energy, you need to persevere and not give up. It's new, and people sometimes don't like new energy. They don't like change. But it's saying here that regardless if you get bandaged up physically, mentally, spiritually, you want to stay strong. All right? That is what we have for all of our horoscopes. I hope you guys enjoyed. The next video that I'm going to do is predictions on Trump and JD Vance. I did the predictions on you. I did the predictions on the world. I even did tarot readings and horoscopes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I would please advise you to check out the previous video about the North and South Node so you can understand things a little bit more. All right. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.